classical music and some film music and some this music and I just felt like I was drowning in music and never knowing what was actually there available to me, and things were getting lost. And it's much easier now I've digitized it. I recently changed my setup for sheet music and I got myself digitized, which I've been putting off for so long. So I will talk you through my setup and what I like about it. I was really such a paper and pen kind of girl. I love having paper sheet music and a pencil and writing on it and highlighting it and all of these things. It made me really, really reticent to want to move away from paper. I found that transition really hard and really scary. Just if there's anyone else out there who feels the same, you're not alone. I really, really love that paper and pen feeling. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to talk you through what I got, because I really didn't want to lose that. But I was starting to have so many books and so much sheet music that it didn't really matter how I organised it. I could never find my way around it. Now, obviously, I still have all of that in the cupboard, but I tried just organising it all in alphabetical order by composer or by arranger. But then it was kind of like, I don't know, I lost track of what was Celtic music and what was pop music and all the rest of it, you know. So then I tried to organise it based on genre. But then I would maybe be asked to play a wedding and I'd want some classical music and some film music and some this music and I just felt like I was drowning in music and never knowing what was actually there available to me, and things were getting lost. And it's much easier now I've digitized it. I bought myself an iPad. iPads are expensive. You do not need to run out and buy an iPad. There are other things available. The reason I went for the iPad is because I am an Apple girl. We use Apple in our studio, so it ties up really nicely to all of our other equipment. It's tax deductible, so the expense didn't feel so bad, you know, because it's for the business. Those are really the reasons. Also because I just know how to use Apple products, so I felt really, really familiar with it. You guys have actually seen, if you've watched a Quickler, you will have seen my iPad now. I use it in the overviews to show the music. This is something that has been amazing for me, just editing wise, because when I did the overviews before, I used to have to take like a little screenshot of the bar that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and then I would have to do the video and talk about the bar, and then I'd have to go back and edit it and pull the bar in as a little picture and resize it. It took me hours and hours and hours. Whereas now I can just hook this iPad up, start filming, share the iPad and circle the bars that I'm talking about. Now I know that you guys aren't filming harp discussions, but I'm just saying it's been revolutionary for me. It saved me so much time. Okay. So on my iPad, I use Fourscore. I've actually got an exercise up just now that I was also looking at. Okay, so I use Fourscore. I also like the iPad because it's huge. This is like the size of an A4 piece of paper. So it's really easy for me to read from when it's on the stand. I really, really like that it's super easy for me to see and read from. It hooks up to a page turner, which is amazing, not having to lean forward and turn pages anymore. That's wonderful. And I will show you my page turner as well. I got the Apple Pencil and I got a screen protector, which is like, it's called Paper Light, I think. And it doesn't feel like paper, you know what I mean? But it also doesn't feel like glass. It's like something in between. And I quite like it. Writing on it is, I can cope with it. So I really like those things. I like being able to write. I can highlight stuff. I can use my iPad in the same way that I would use the paper, and that's really, really useful. The other thing that I love about it, like I just said, is the categories. So I can actually categorise it based on genre, based on composer, based on skill level, based on where it is in the membership, all the different ways you can think of to categorise, you can categorise them. And so is that. So then if I am looking for wedding appropriate sheet music, I can click on all the things that I've listed as that. And it doesn't matter if they're in Celtic or classical or anywhere else, they're all going to come up in my wedding list. But then also if I'm looking for Celtic music, I can just click Celtic music and it will all come up in that. Or if I'm looking for one composer. So in the way that I was getting frustrated with filing my paper, I'm pointing over there because that's where my cupboard is. I was getting frustrated with filing and categorising my paper. I can categorise it in so many different ways on the iPad, which is amazing. I can make set lists, which has been just fantastic for going on tour, or just for ideas if you're thinking about playing in a care home. You can start making a set list for different times that you want to play. I've got, July's filming set list, which is great. Everything I know I have to film in July, I can throw it all in a set list. And then when I'm filming, it's all there and I don't have to go searching. Plus, I feel like I'm saving the planet because I used to have to print all of the sheet music for How to Harp, all levels. Can you imagine how much paper that is every month? That's a lot of paper every month to film the pieces. And now I can just put it all in the iPad and I just feel like it's so much more environmentally friendly. So, love it. Amazing. Use Fourscore. Recommendation I would give you is categorise it as soon as you put it in. Don't throw it in really quickly and say, I'll go back and categorise it later. At least do a little bit of categorising every time you put something in, because I ended up with, I think last week when I took the train somewhere. Where was I going last week? Oh, it was when I went to Newcastle. I was like, I'm going to go and categorise the stuff that I've put in my iPad. I had 74 things because I'd just thrown them in quickly. And if I'd just done a tiny bit of work, like 2 minutes work each time those had gone in, it would have saved me that 3 hours that I spent on the train. It might even have been longer, categorising everything. So that's my recommendation, 100%. I, at the same time, got this page turner. I absolutely love this page turner. It is called Page Flip Butterfly. The reason I love it is because I can change how it's flipping my pages. So it's got a go forward and a go back. So you can see it's got these two sides, which means that I can, if there's, a repeat sign, I can easily go back to the start of the piece or anything like that. So that's brilliant. But here I've got little switches, so I can make it turn a whole page. If I feel like I need to be more zoomed in, then I can turn the iPad on its side and I can just make it move the page up and then turn the page with the next press. I really, really like that. I can make it turn more than one page. And it is battery powered. That's the only thing I don't really like about it. It would be nice if it was rechargeable. It's battery powered, but what I will say about it is I have not changed these batteries and I've used this a lot. And I've also forgot to switch it off a lot and left it on accidentally for 2 or 3 days at a time, and then come back and gone, oh no, I've left it on, I bet you the batteries are out. And they've never gone out, so it obviously doesn't take a lot to power it. Love it. And I also got this great sturdy stand. Again, I really, really love it because it's so... I don't actually know what this... Oh, I probably should have looked this up. It says tablet PC stand. And it's by Kong and Meyer. I love it. It's super, super hard wearing. I'm not going to break it. I really love it. And that's my setup now. And honestly, I so wish I hadn't waited so long. I really wish I'd done it sooner. And it's just taking that scary step, isn't it, into the unknown, where you're like, oh, my sheets though, I'm used to my sheets. How tall does the stand go? That's a great question. Let me just see. Right, so I'm sitting just now, and you can still see just the bottom of the stand. So I would say, I know that I'm 163 centimetres. Oops. I would say it's about the same height as me. So there you go, 163 centimetres is how tall it goes. I certainly couldn't read like flute music from that standing. That's way too tall for me. You can use a regular music stand, absolutely. You can just put it on the stand. But the reason I got this is because it's really portable. I'm looking around for a music stand, but I can't see one. I used to have one of those like kind of orchestra stands, right, that are completely black, not like a foldy away one. If I put it on a foldy away one, I'd be really worried that it would fall over because it's heavy, you know, and then I'd worry it would damage my harp, whereas this is like super sturdy, but it's also really fold awayable. Will you show the tablet stand again? I'd like to see how the tablet is mounted. Oh, what am I doing? The camera's up there. Let me show you how the iPad's mounted. I'll just move it up a little bit so you can see. Okay, so it should actually be like this. There you go. So basically it goes in here, and then this side clips on. So there's like a little bit here that's holding it on. I could just leave it like that, but then these clip onto the side, and this one clips onto the side there. And then at the back here, I can tighten that to make sure it's really in place. So that's tightening this side arm. Okay, and then you can see it's really not going anywhere at all. It's really nice and sturdy. So this one down here, it looks really like it wouldn't hold it, but obviously it's just balancing on that little arm. And then these two clip in on the side, and then that one clips in on the side as well. And then once you've done that, you can easily turn if you want it this way, or if you want it that way. Okay, so let me just show you it without it again. There you go. And obviously this is all adjustable, so if you're using something that's a bit smaller, then you can, you know, this goes in and out, everything like this, and that goes in and out too. One more thing I do want to say, just to add about price, because the iPad Pro is really expensive. I think it starts at like £1,299 in the UK, I think is what it starts at. This is not an iPad. This is an iPad Air, which starts at £799. So it's about half the price. I also could not afford an iPad Pro. Forget it. And also, I literally use this for my sheet music. Like, we've got a computer to do all our editing on and stuff like this. So I think if you're just, to me, if you're just looking for something to have your sheet music on, you do not need the fancy pants iPad Pro. That's like, you can do serious video editing on the iPad Pro. You don't need that. If you want something to like check documents on, read your emails, watch Heather on video, obviously I don't do that, but if you want to do that, and use your sheet music, the iPad Air is plenty good enough, plenty fast enough. You don't have to get an iPad Pro. That's not what I have. This is an iPad Air.